Hi guys, it's Bissong. I want to talk today about my journey. Okay, let me not talk about the old journey because it's a long one. So let me just talk about, for those who have been following me recently, they will understand some things that they have seen with me about religion and spirituality. And let me talk about it for myself. I've always come from a strong Christian background. I even went to the major seminary in the attempt to become a priest. And when people ask me why you come out, I tell them that's because I too like women. Though that's not the only reason, but that's the shortest reason I can just tell people to get them off my back. Because why are you stressing me about the matter? So going forward, let's talk about what I discovered recently. Recently, I had this great surge, this great urge, this force in my being to go deeper into spirituality. And I personally, just like everybody throughout the history of humanity, I've always wondered where is it that we come from? Where is our source? What is the source of all life? Where can we cast those things that we cannot do on? Because as a matter of fact, very many times we don't have control over a lot of things. So even a farmer does not have control over his farm. You can say if you plant the right seeds, the right fruits will come out, right? But it's not always the case. You can do everything right because you can only do the things within your control. There are things that are not in your control. So a man plants a farm, plants corn, and within a year it's sprouting, you know. You're already seeing the corn. Oh my God, this is my beautiful harvest. I'm about to come and harvest it, and then maybe birds come and attack your farm, eat your corn, and then you harvest empty cobs, or anything can happen. A flood comes, wipes away your farm. Herdsmen bring their cows and they eat up all your crops in your farm. So at the end of the day, you find out that all the things that you feel like you can control, you really cannot control. So there is always a power beyond you. Any man that doesn't understand there's a power beyond him is just winning himself. So, and that power can be within you. That's the funny thing. So, but I'm coming to that. So, in my search for religion, I felt I needed to go deeper into Christianity because that's the only, for spirituality, I felt I had to go deeper into religion, which is Christianity, because that's all I've ever known. That's what I was given by my father. That's what I've always known. A lot of people also approach religion in the search for spirituality, but many times religion and spirituality can be two different things, and a lot of times religion can separate you from God. It can be a rift between you and God. It can be a gap between you and God a lot of times. This is not the video where I go into that, but I'm just talking about my story. And from my own experience, I found out that when I got deeper into Christianity, or when I said, okay, I want to dedicate more time now to doing spiritual things, because of that surge in my being that made me to really want to interrogate these matters, what I discovered is that I had to stop some certain things. And now I stopped them based on the fact that, okay, being more into the things of God, there are some things you have to drop, right? I said, okay, I have to drop this, I have to drop this thing, I have to drop this thing. And yes, some of them are good things you have to drop, but you have to drop certain things from the perspective of understanding how hurtful they can be to yourself and to other people, and not just because you are told that it is bad. And that's the difference between the Christian or the religious morality and understanding morality as a source of humanity. The truth is that morality, we always make this mistake, thinking that morality was brought by religion. Religion did not bring morality. Religion enforces morality with the sanction of hell. They tell you that if you don't do certain things, you will die and go to hell. You have a punishment waiting for you. So because of that idea, you are incentivized, by the promise of a better life after here, to do certain things, not because you really want to do those things or because you like God or you like anything. It's just because you are scared of hell. So fear perpetrates certain actions, usually in religious morality. But meanwhile, morality is a source of humanity. Morality did not come from religion, it came from humanity. When I see a person, in a particular way, and I feel like I shouldn't hurt this person because this person is very vulnerable and I don't want it to be done to me when I'm vulnerable. I see certain things and have compassion. These are things that we naturally can do. And the more we are in tune with our spirit self, the more it is easy for us to connect with that guy that can be human enough. And you see, that's the funny thing. Humanity is the source of morality. religion only enforces it. This just like the way the state enforces it. Politics or the state, the government enforces morality. Same way to the religion enforces morality on the same balance and the same influence. Very similar influence. So for me, it's a different ball game. After going through it, and I came to this consciousness that spirituality is not gauged by virtue of these moralities. I'm not saying that these moralities are bad, but I'm saying that these moralities are gotten from humanity, not by the strict rules of religion. And I feel like my approach to God can be a lot more personal. And I believe that there's no intimate relationship that is not personal. Your relationship cannot be intimate if it is broken out by someone else. So if a person introduces me to this guy, meet my friend Tola, meet Ima, and we give ourselves a handshake. If we do not take it a step further from there, we will keep on being people that I know Tola through my friend, right? It will not be the case that I have a personal relationship with Tola. Anytime I see Tola, there's more likely to be because my friend is there. So you see, what happens is that's what the church does for you. The church becomes the broker of your relationship between God, and many other religions also are like that. So when you get to understand spirituality as a whole term in itself, you get to understand that spirituality is very much achievable without religion. But doesn't mean that religion is wrong or is bad or it does not help a lot of people to achieve that. For a lot of people, many people cannot really think for themselves, and they really need somebody that can tell them what exactly they need to do. And for many people, it is just peaceful, because I also believe that religion should be a gathering of believers. That means if I believe, you believe, we all gather together to pray or to sing or to do anything together. We form a community of those people who believe the same thing. But the issue I have with religion, the only time I have issues with religion is when religion becomes a gatekeeper of God. When you start gatekeeping God. So that's saying that you cannot get to God except you come through me. You can't gatekeep God. You can't gatekeep my essence. Because you have God in you. So nobody can gatekeep that essence. So once anybody begins to gatekeep God, they make God an entity that is outside you, that you need to chase through them. So the issues I have with religion is when religion becomes a gatekeeper of God. But I love religion for the beauty of the community, for the beauty of creating the atmosphere where you can actually exercise spirituality. So religion is beautiful on that balance, but usually religion is not that. Religion is usually a gatekeeper of God. And maybe I'll create another content about that. So am I still religious? Do I still go to church? Yes, I still align myself with certain teachings of Christ. I still align myself with a lot of these things. But there are also a lot of church-related doctrine that I do not really follow, because I don't believe that they are necessary for me to know God. That is just a personal decision. I'm not saying you should do the same. It's okay if you still align with the things you align with. And as for me, I believe that if I ask you a question that this thing you are doing, does it make you happy? Is it working well for you? And you tell me yes, I leave you be. I believe that if something is good enough for you, then why not be on to it and hold it so tight and keep on doing it? If something is not good for me, there ain't no reason why I should, go on with it. So enlightenment is a personal journey. You have to test truth for yourself and believe it. Belief is added to truth. You don't just believe what you do not know, what has not been interrogated. So that is that. So for me, I've become more wholesome in my approach to spirituality. I believe that God is the source of everything, and everything leads back to God. So there are no specific things that lead back to God. No, I believe that everything leads back to God in one way or the other. So that has been my own view, and that's the reason why there are certain things I was not talking about before, because I felt maybe they are bad, according to Christian morality. But I'm finding out that they're not exactly so bad. The application of those things can be bad at certain times. That is also true. And I've also discovered that people want to determine what it means for you to be spiritual. So if maybe someone offended you and you said something, they'll say, I see you're a spiritual man. See how you are talking. But bro, that does not stop me from dashing out at people who are motherfuckers and who are stupid people. Doesn't stop me from raining, heavy assault at those people that actually deserve it. Doesn't stop me from actually being, a nightmare to certain people if they actually call for it. It doesn't stop me from expressing my views as raw as I can. It doesn't stop me from being human. So a lot of people want to attain a position whereby they feel like they cannot make mistakes, they can no longer be human, they have to be following certain patterns, they have to become judgmental about people, they have to believe that it's their way or the highway, they have to believe. I've found out that those things are limiting in your understanding of who God is really. It's limiting your understanding about the world and humanity. It's really limiting. And that's why it's very easy for people to be religious and be very wicked. Why? Because they are following principles. They have not exercised their human self to understand why they do certain things. So if there are anything that I stay off from, I always analyze them from the perspective of, are they good inherently? Are they bad inherently? Because by virtue of, do they harm me or do they harm other people? I believe that if nothing harms you or harm other people, there is no way it can be an offense to God. And that's my view. Well, I'm not asking everyone to, because I don't believe that anything that doesn't offend you or offend anybody else can be an offense to God. I don't believe so. I don't see any reason why. And anybody can come and prove me wrong. I can also say that certain things, for example, now when you talk about gayism, for example, let me just give you an example if I end this stuff. It's already getting very long. Now, guys who are gay, I won't say I like them, but that's because I just detest the whole act itself. I feel like it's not natural, because this is nature. This is old. They say put a stick in a hole. You say no, that you want to stick to eating each other, or you say old to old. The whole idea of gay sex is not even natural. So that's just my view about your paro. But about if they are good people or bad people, or if there are people to be burnt at stake, I don't believe they should be. And I believe that they should live their life as long as they don't disturb other people. My issue with them is the fact that they like to disturb other people. We hear about them having gay police. We hear about things like people enforcing, giving puberty blockers to children, trying to transgender their children that have not, people teaching gay things in schools, enforcing certain things. Those are the ones that get me, and that's the one that used to make me mad, about them. And it's on that note that I dislike them. Not about because you can't fuck my yansh now, you can't disturb me, so that won't even stress me. You didn't do some certain things. That won't be my wahala. My main issues would only arise when it affects you, because usually it does affect them and affects other people. So I always say something. I say, in everything you do, you have to check it. Does it affect me adversely? Does it affect other people adversely? That should be the things that drives you, because humanity is the source of morality, not religion, not certain principles that have been set in stone, and which sometimes might not have anything to do with your personal, human development. You need to interrogate truth for yourself. Stay wise.